We've been taking classes in our TCL's Got Class series, but we promise we did not steal the idea from a new movie.
That new movie is Life of the Party. It's the latest from actress Melissa McCarthy. Coming up, our movie critic Paul McGuire Grimes. So he's going to review this new comedy, but before that, this is funny, he chatted with the stars, and they all had just wonderful things to say about their leading lady.
I don't regret staying at home and being your mom, but I regret not getting my degree.
That's why somebody's mom just enrolled in college. I'm referring to myself.
I'll see you around the quad.
Now, Melissa, I grew to love you as Suki in Gilmore Girls, which is such a great mother-daughter story, and now this is such a great mother and daughter story. What did you two do to like build the chemistry and the bond there?
We all really clicked. Everybody just got along so well. It really makes for, it's kind of hard to say going to work because it seems so silly when you're like, I can't wait to get to work. I think when it's that fun and everybody gets along that well, that kind of joy comes through the lens.
The characters get a lot of advice from Melissa McCarthy's character. What kind of takeaways did you guys take from her?
You just want it to rub off on you, but it can't. So you just watch in awe and try to absorb what you can.
I think she's so good at keeping all of her plates spinning. She's such a good mom. She's such a cool wife, and she's like an amazing anchor and writer and hilarious, and all of her moments are so genuine and connected. And I think, when you're doing a scene with a person like that, or even I would show up for scenes that I was not in, and I would just sit and watch. And I think that it's hard not to be challenged and grow watching her work.
Fearless, generous, silly, but also thoughtful, and just a joy to be around. I don't know, just be a good person.
What is on your lobe, Dan?
It's an earring. Oh. Works for Harrison Ford.
Harrison Ford blew up the Death Star and freed a galaxy. What have you done, Dan?
All right, coming up next, is Life of the Party worth seeing this weekend? Paul McGuire Grimes is here with his review.
And from the stars of Life of the Party, but is the new Melissa McCarthy comedy worth an actual trip to the movies?
Joining us with his thoughts from the website, Paul's Trip to the Movies. He's back from LA. It's Paul McGuire Grimes. Hi, Paul.
Hello, hi.
Okay, it's really fun because all of those girls seemed so fun and fabulous.
Yes.
But did that translate onto the screen? What do you think about this movie?
Yes, it does. I've seen this twice now,
Really?
and I laughed just as hard the second time around.
Oh, yeah?
So not all the funny moments are in the trailer?
Correct.
That's the concern always.
And some of the best scenes are between Melissa McCarthy and then Maya Rudolph. You know, they've done a lot of movies together, Bridesmaids for one.
And Maya Rudolph is a genius.
And phenomenal. Like, I was laughing so hard in their scenes that I couldn't keep it together, even the second time around.
Really?
And I think what's great is that they're not playing caricatures. You know, I think sometimes we think of Melissa McCarthy with kind of a raunchy, R-rated, and here she just gets to be this really sweet mom, and same with Maya Rudolph, and their kind of friendship together is great.
Oh, I'm so happy.
How are the, are there tender moments, and if so, how do they play amidst the comedy?
Yes, so there is, because both mom and daughter, so the premise that that Melissa McCarthy's getting a divorce, so she decides to go back to school and just picks the same school that her daughter goes to. So at first there's, the awkward mom and daughter at a party and class thing, but then they were like, let's bond and kind of rebuild this relationship and kind of learn from each other again. So it was really sweet.
Okay, that is really fantastic.
Yes.
And there is some physical comedy though, because
for
Melissa
sure.
McCarthy is so good, and so is Maya Rudolph. They're so good at that.
There is some physical comedy, but it doesn't overdo it the way that some of her other movies do. And then Julie Bowen from Modern Family's in it as well. Matt Walsh from Veep, I got to interview both of them as well. So they have some smaller parts in it too.
Ticket stubs.
So I'm giving it 3.5 out of 5. It's not perfect. There's a little too many characters, and there's a storyline that I'm like hesitant about, but it's worth seeing, especially for moms and daughters this weekend.
Okay, I like that.
Your streaming pick has a Melissa McCarthy tie-in.
I mean, it's what gave Melissa her big break. For Mother's Day, Melissa, it's Gilmore Girls.
Always good.
Every episode now streaming on Netflix. The original 7 seasons plus the 4-episode revival that came out a couple of years ago.
Right.
And I just think this is one of the best mother-daughter relationships ever on television.
I just am so obsessed with Lauren Graham.
Oh, she's phenomenal.
I know.
And I think what makes the show great and so unique is the rapid pace dialogue, all the pop culture references, and you really get to love Lorelai and Rory together as mother and daughter.
Oh, that's a really fun recommendation.
That is probably the most watched show by my wife in the time that I've known her for 15 years or 18 years, whatever it is. I mean, she watches that show. It's her comfort blanket.
Does she
you know
still
what I mean?
just turn on an episode?
Yes.
I just recently watched the whole series, including the 4 episodes, and I haven't just turn it on to rewatch.
Oh, do it. You just sink right back in.
You think it holds up on reviewing and reviewing?
Completely. I've seen it multiple times, and you just laugh hysterically the whole time. It's comfort TV. You sit on a couch on a rainy day, and you just love it.
I'm really glad that Life of the Party is good. Thank
It is
you
good.
so
You're
much,
welcome.
Paul. That's
Thank you,
awesome.
Paulie.
Thank you.
Paul also recently got the chance to talk with the stars of the new movie Book Club,
Oh,
too.
this looks great.
This includes Candace Bergen.
Can't say a lot about it, but
And the fabulous Mary Steenburgen. Here's a little taste.
the movie is so smart, so funny.
I can't believe men like this movie so
I know,
much.
I know.
Well, I mean, I think it's so great to have all four of you working together for the first time. What advice do you guys have for women that maybe are starting over in dating later on in life?
Part of the beauty of this is to remind everybody, whether you're a man or a woman or whether you're young or old, you know, as long as you're alive, live.
Okay,
That's a good note
I
right
mean,
there.
how are you even finding words to speak in front of those
I mean,
two?
so Diane Keaton and Andy Garcia are also in this. They're both in the Godfather series. I'm a huge Godfather junkie, so I was like a mumbling mess with those two.
No.
And then Jane Fonda's in it, and she said something that left me completely speechless that I don't know if I can even say on this family show.
we're gonna have to
so
wait.
Did
tune
she say
in.
it to you on camera? Do we have it?
Completely
Oh,
on
well, then
camera.
we'll play it on the
So,
show next week. That'd
so
be great.
get ready next week for this.
Oh, I'm so glad you're going to be back. So am I.
Yeah,
Next week.
thank
That's
you.
great.
Yes, next
You
Friday.
guys want to do it next Friday?
Let's do it next Friday.
Great, I'll see you right here.
Wondering about this
Yes.
all week. Thank you, Paul.
Duplex, set a reminder for me to do the show next Friday. Does that work yet?
Not yet,
Visit
not yet.
Paul's website. It's paulstriptothemovies.com for more movie reviews. Also, listen to his podcast, All Things Streaming. There you can hear his thoughts on the latest streaming movies and shows. We got a link to that on our website. You can also listen to Paul on the Colleen and Bradley Show on My Talk 107.1 every Friday.
Busy guy. TCL.